Holler Sports. I'm Cole Drone. This is Braxton Drone, and this is Jackson Drone. We've decided to start a podcast, just something that we can kind of do together as father and sons and different things like that, to be able to just get on here and talk about things that we enjoy. So one thing we enjoy, all of us do, is sports and get to talk about that and get to play. I've been fortunate enough to be able to coach both of my boys throughout their playing careers thus far. So it's just good to be able to do that. So some people may ask, why did we go with the name Mouth of the Holler Sports? So I was born in Eastern Kentucky, up in the mountains of Eastern Kentucky, and that's where I lived the early part of my childhood at. I've often said that you can take the boy out of the mountains, but you can't take the mountain out of the boy. And just have kind of that mountain DNA within me, and that's kind of just the way we want to do things. We live in East Tennessee right now, right around the Smoky Mountains and different things like that. So a lot of times growing up, you'd hear about up in the holler this and up in the holler that, or the mouth of the holler, the head of the holler. And when you get to thinking about that and the places where this is at, you think about these small town communities where everybody knows everybody. And when there's a ball game to be played, everybody's there. If a team makes it to a state tournament, the whole town goes. The town's just shut down. And so we kind of wanted to just go with that. If you're from the mountains, you're tough, you're gritty, and just that's just kind of who we are. And so we want to use this platform to be able to talk about sports, but not just sports. We'll just talk about kind of current events and different things like that as stuff goes on. And then we're Christians. We want to be able to take this and use this platform to share our faith throughout all this as well. But the main thing, just being able to get to spend time with them and to share this opportunity with them, get to talk about stuff that we enjoy talking about. But I can remember, I guess, setting up in Eastern Kentucky. We moved to Somerset, Kentucky when I was 9 years old. But like I said, most of my childhood came from growing up in Eastern Kentucky. And I can remember setting up my grandparents' place, my granny and papa's house, and just going there on a Sunday afternoon and go there for family dinners after church. My aunts and uncles and cousins and everybody would be there. And it was just a good time of fellowship. We would kind of just talk about whatever was going on, whether it was the NBA being played in the background with Michael Jordan or Larry Bird or Magic Johnson or whoever. If Kentucky basketball was playing, that was always a hot topic. So it was just kind of those things that you remember as a kid. I can remember sitting around watching the Andy Griffith Show, or my grandma always wanted to watch Wheel of Fortune and different things like that. But it was just a good place to be. So when you get to think about just living up in the holler, just kind of a peaceful place. You didn't have a care, or at least it seemed that way as a kid. So that's kind of the reason we went with Mouth of the Holler Sports. So we just kind of want to take this time and to be able to share a little bit with you all. We hope that you'll enjoy this. We encourage you to comment and like our page and go listen to our podcast and different things like that. And hopefully we can bring some laughter to your life and enjoyment as you listen to us and just being able to share what we get to do together and different things like that. So first one's kind of going to be pretty short. We're fortunate enough we're being able to make the trip to Rupp Arena tonight. Most of us are Kentucky fans. My wife, she's from Tennessee down here, so
I'm still wearing blue.
She's going to be wearing orange tonight, but we're going to go up there and watch Tennessee play. I was able to get tickets at a pretty good price, so we're going to go up there. So I told them last night, I said, I didn't think your all's first time going to Rupp Arena would be to watch Tennessee without Kentucky playing.
And I'm still getting my J. Billis ice cream.
And Jack wants his J. Billis ice cream. I'm sure you'll eat a little bit of it too, won't you, Bam? So we're going to start here breaking down the NCAA tournament. The playing games have happened. A lot of excitement going on with that. With Alabama State winning the other night. Oddly enough, hometown boy here from Morristown, Tennessee, where we live currently, Micah Simpson, who I think had about 9 points in the game, but made the pass that sealed the deal for them. Was let them go on and win that game. Where now they get a tough draw playing at Rupp and getting to play Auburn. But madness began early on, and these first 4 days always some of the funnest times of the year, and get to watch basketball all day. So we're going to get to take in a few games tonight that we're going to be watching along the way. So, but what we're going to get started with today is a little bit of an NCAA tournament breakdown. Just kind of we're going to go through our brackets. We're going to break down each region, and then we're all going to pick who we think will win, and whoever out of the three of us, if a team gets 2 picks, that's who will advance in our bracket, and we'll kind of see where we end up, and then we'll share our own individual Final Fours at the end, and kind of go on from there. So I've told them they may be a little nervous. I don't know. I told them to talk loud, and we'll be ready to go. So we'll see how it is. But we'll start. Jack, you can break us down by region there. I guess that top one up there.
All right, the South. Auburn or Alabama State. Auburn's the 1, Alabama State's the 16.
All right, who you taking?
Auburn.
I'm going to take Auburn as well. So, all right, what's that next matchup up there? Let's see. I can bring it up here.
As we speak, what's the score?
I'm not sure. Louisville and Creighton. Who you taking in that game?
Personally, I'm going to take Louisville.
Louisville? Who are you taking? Creighton? I'm typically L's down, but I'm probably going to take Louisville in this game. May not be a good decision, but I'm going to take Louisville. Your next matchup going down through here is number 5 seeded Michigan against number 12 UC San Diego. I think this might be an upset special from what a lot of the people are saying. But
I'm going the upset, UC San Diego.
Who are you taking? You taking Michigan or UC San Diego? Who?
What?
You want to talk up?
Michigan.
All right, I'm going with the upset as well. I'm going to take UC San Diego.
He's not on the same page with us.
Sometimes, a lot of times you'll have these 5-12 upsets, and I think this could be the year that, that Michigan just come off that Big Ten championship. Sometimes teams get a little overconfident or whatever, and they'll sneak up and lose this first round. So we're going to go there. All right, the next game, number 4 seeded Texas A&M versus 13 Yale. How are y'all picking this one?
It scares me, but I'm still going to go with A&M. Texas.
Who are you picking?
Texas.
Texas A&M. I'm going to stick there. Yale, if I remember correctly, upset Auburn last year, but I think Buzz has got his team playing well, so we're going to go with Texas A&M to move on in this one. Next matchup, number 6, Ole Miss against North Carolina, who shouldn't have been in the tournament. But, of course, they came out the other night and looked wonderful. But in my opinion, should have never been in the tournament. But we'll go ahead and make that pick. Ole Miss or North Carolina?
I think North Carolina is going to come out playing ready to go. Ole Miss is probably better than them, but I think they're going to look over them. I'm going North Carolina.
And you said Ole Miss. I'm going to go Ole Miss. I'm going to stick with the SEC. Carolina may be getting hot right now. They've won several, like 8 of the last 10 or something. But I'm going. Chris Beard's a good coach with Ole Miss, and already has national championship game experience. So I'm going to go Ole Miss there. All right. Who's the next matchup there?
Iowa State, Lipscomb. Iowa State.
I think that's going to be one that they take care of. Next matchup, Marquette versus New Mexico.
I'm going to go Marquette, but I think it's going to be a dogfight.
Of course, I would say closer than the experts think. I'm going to say Marquette as well. Who are you going? Bless you. Marquette. All right. Number 2 seed Michigan State versus 15 seeded Bryant. I think Michigan State. They've been playing as well as anybody in the country towards the end of the year, so we're all going to go Michigan State there. All right, we'll move on down to the West region. Number 1 seeded Florida versus 16 Norfolk State.
I think this is an easy Florida.
Florida may be the best, hottest team in the country right now, so we're all going to go Florida. Next one. 2-time defending national champion, 8 seeded Connecticut versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Well, I'm going to say UConn, but I hope Oklahoma wins because I'm not a UConn fan. So
I hope they get their 2 buzzer beaters back.
Yeah. All right. Number 5 seeded Memphis versus Colorado State.
Going Colorado State. Seeing the upset here.
Memphis or Colorado State. You're saying Memphis. I'm going to say Memphis as well. I think that could be an upset, but I'm going to go with Penny his Tigers. All right. Number 4 seeded Maryland and 13 Grand Canyon.
I feel like this could be an upset too, but I'm going Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah, I'm going to go Maryland as well. Who? Maryland. All right. Number 6. This one's one that everybody's been talking about possibly being a big upset with 6 seeded Missouri versus number 11 Drake.
But the thing is, who've they played? They played no top 25 teams.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know anything about Drake. I know Missouri at one point was playing well. I know they kind of slacked off there towards the end of the year, but I'm going to say Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri.
Missouri will roll. Number 3, Texas Tech versus number 14, NC Wilmington. I'm going Texas Tech here, I think. Texas Tech. Uh-oh. Now the John Calipari, Bill Self matchup, they usually tend to meet in the national championship game. Arkansas with John Calipari is a little bit different look this year, but I don't know. Who y'all taking in this game?
I'm going Arkansas.
They get Boogie Flan back for the tournament, but I did see where Adu Thierro's not playing in round 1, so that could be. So you were saying Arkansas?
After I heard that, I'm still going Arkansas.
Arkansas, who you going?
Arkansas?
I think Kansas is a mess. I think there's been a lot of turmoil with their team this year, so I'm going to go Arkansas. Well, I think in hopes of the next matchup.
Yeah.
Number 2 seeded St. John's with Rick Pitino, 2 former Kentucky coaches with the potential to match up. I'm going St. John's. St. John's. All right. Moving on up to the east. Number 1 Duke, Mount St. Mary's. I'm sure we're all going Duke there. Number 8 Mississippi State and number 9 Baylor.
I'm going Mississippi State.
I think I'm gonna go Mississippi State. Scott Drew's a good coach, but I think Mississippi State will get them. I think they're pretty athletic.
This is so deep, though.
Yeah, the SEC's been really deep this year. All right, number 5 seeded Oregon and number 12 Liberty. And this could be another one of those 5-12 upsets. I know a lot of people are picking it, but
I'm going Oregon.
I'm probably going Oregon as well. Who? Oregon. Arizona is the 4 seed and Akron is the 13 seed.
I'm going Arizona.
I'm going to go Arizona as well. Number 6, BYU. Mark Pope left the Cougars last year and came to the Wildcats this year. Got a new coach, but has really done well in his first season there. Number 11, VCU. Who y'all going with?
I'm going VCU.
Who?
VCU.
I'm going to say BYU because I think they've been pretty good this year. But VCU moves on in their group one. Number 3, Wisconsin versus number 14, Montana.
Going Wisconsin.
I'm going Wisconsin. Still ain't got over them after the 2015 year. I don't ever want to see them win a game. Number 10, number 7 seeded St. Mary's versus number 10, Vanderbilt.
This is an easy one for me,
Vandy. I'm going to say Vanderbilt. I think
St. Mary's hasn't played no one again.
They played Gonzaga, and that's probably it. But so we're all going Vanderbilt, sticking with the SEC. Alabama and Robert Morris.
Alabama. Roll Tide rolls.
Alabama rolls in this one. Moving down to the west. Number 1, Houston against SIU Edwardsville. Houston as well. All right, here could be a decent one. Gonzaga, number 8 seeded against number 9 seeded Georgia.
I'm going Georgia. I think the SEC is good this year. Good enough to beat Gonzaga.
I'm going to say Gonzaga because I think Mark Few's just a good coach. Gonzaga's got talent, and you got to pick one. They're both the Bulldogs. Both start with the G. Gonzaga. Gonzaga moves on. Number 5 seeded Clemson versus number 12 McNeese State. Will Wade, I think, has already got his next coaching opportunity at NC State, is what it's sounding like with McNeese State. But how do y'all think this one goes?
I think Clemson wins.
I'm going McNeese State in the upset here. Number 4 seeded Purdue versus number 13 High Point. How are y'all going here?
I'm going the upset, High Point.
I'm going to say Purdue. I think Purdue will win this one. I don't know. All right. Getting on down, number 6 seeded Illinois versus Xavier, who came back against Texas.
Texas should have
won that game.
Illinois.
You're going Illinois? I'm going to say Xavier. They looked pretty good last night. Illinois, I think if they get hot, I think they can be some trouble, but I think I'm going to say Xavier moves on. All right, number 3 seeded Kentucky versus 14 seeded Troy. John Calipari's got me very gun shy in the last few years. Only get knocked out of the first round in the last 3 years. But I'm gonna stick with my Wildcats and say Kentucky wins this one.
I will too.
All right, and then number 7 UCLA and Utah State. We'll get to watch that one tonight. How are y'all going with it?
I'm going UCLA, but I hope Utah State.
Yeah, I'm going UCLA, but I hope Utah State wins too. I don't want UCLA to even sniff a Final Four. All right, and then number 2, Tennessee versus number 15, Wofford.
Tennessee. I'm going Wofford. Tennessee.
We'll say Tennessee. All right, moving back up to the South region. Who's our winners? We had Auburn and Louisville. Who y'all got picked to win that game?
I think Auburn.
I mean, it's essentially going to be a home game for Louisville, but if they win, they got to get through that first round. But I'm still going to go Auburn. I think Auburn's playing pretty well.
All right, UC San Diego or Texas A&M?
I'm going to A&M.
Texas A&M. A&M.
All right. Next one, what we have?
Ole Miss and Iowa State.
I'm going to say I'm going to go Iowa State. I think Ole Miss could beat them, but I'm going to say Iowa State. You're saying Ole Miss?
I'm going Ole Miss.
All right. So Ole Miss moves on. Michigan State versus Marquette. That's what we got?
Yeah.
All right.
I think Michigan State will
Michigan
win.
State moves on. Moving on down back to the West. Florida versus y'all said Oklahoma, didn't you? I'm gonna say Florida. Again, they're playing as good as anybody right now. And then who we got? Memphis or y'all say Colorado State?
No, it's
or y'all skip a game?
No, Memphis and Maryland.
Memphis and Maryland. I'm gonna say Maryland wins. Yeah. I think they're playing well.
I'm gonna go Memphis, but
is it Missouri, Texas Tech? Is that what we got next?
Yeah.
Missouri versus Texas Tech. I want to go Missouri. I think they got some talent. I like their coach. I think he plays a good style of ball. Who y'all?
And again, I think the SEC has been good this year and deep. I'm going Missouri.
And then the anticipated matchup of John Calipari and Rick Pitino, former Kentucky coaches, both winning national championships at the University of Kentucky.
St. John's, and I hope St. John's wins.
I'm going St. John's. I just think Rick Pitino outcoaches John Calipari. I think he's got talent this year, so clean St. John's sweeps. Yep. All right.
East.
Moving back up to the East, Duke, Mississippi State.
Yep. I'm going the upset. I'm going Mississippi State.
Really, I'm going to say Duke. I think they're I hope I would be fine with Duke getting put out, but I think they're one of the best teams in the country. The Oregon, Arizona, is that the next one?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going Arizona.
I'm going to say Arizona as well. Moving on. Number 6 seed.
No, 11 seed.
11 seed VCU in Wisconsin. Yep. I'm going to say Wisconsin moves on. All right. Moving on here, Vandy and Alabama.
Yes.
Bama, roll tide, roll.
Yeah. Bama is going to win.
All right. Moving on down to the Midwest, Houston and Gonzaga. I think Houston's defense is.
I was going with the upset here till y'all pick Gonzaga, so Houston.
I'm going to say Houston. I think their defense is too good. I think they'll win, and they can score a little bit this year as well. Who we got? Clemson and Purdue?
High Point. Who picked the upset?
Oh, so Clemson and High Point?
Yeah.
I'm going Clemson in that.
Yeah.
All right. Kentucky and Illinois.
Yeah.
Kentucky. I'm gonna say the Wildcats roll. Lamont Butler can stay healthy. I think we got a shot at it. Yeah. So, and then number 7 UCLA and
Tennessee.
2 seed Tennessee. I think Tennessee's got good guard play. They play really good defense. I think they advance to the Sweet 16. Elite Eight matchups. All right, so we got Auburn versus Michigan State. Is that correct?
Auburn.
Or Sweet 16 matchup.
Yeah.
We're in Sweet 16.
Texas A&M.
I'm gonna say I know A&M beat them earlier in the year, but I think Auburn wins.
Oh, A&M.
Who'd you say?
I'm going Auburn.
Auburn. So Auburn moves on.
Actually, no, I want Auburn.
Okay.
And then Iowa State, Michigan State. Is that what?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, Michigan State. I'm gonna say Michigan State.
I'm going Ole Miss. I think they make it to the Elite
Ole Miss. So y'all got an Auburn Ole Miss Elite Eight matchup. Let's go ahead and pick that one. So Auburn or Ole Miss.
Auburn.
I'm going Auburn.
I'm going Auburn to the Final Four. Moving on down to the West. You got, let's see, Florida, Maryland. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Missouri, St. John's.
Yeah, going Florida.
All right, I think Florida rolls.
And then I'm going St. John's.
I think Patino moves on.
St. John's.
So who wins, Florida or St. John's?
I think Florida's just too deep. I think Florida wins.
Florida.
I think Florida wins as well. I'd rather Patino pull that one out, but I think Florida moves on there. All right, Duke, Arizona.
Duke.
Duke moves on, I think. They're talented and I just don't think their bracket. I'm not sure anybody on that side of the bracket can beat them. Then Wisconsin, Alabama.
Alabama.
We'll say Alabama. Duke, Alabama. Duke's good. I wonder in these situations how those young freshmen are going to play. And Alabama scores a lot of points. I think Duke's going to have to probably get up in the upper 80s, low 90s to beat them. I'm going to say roll tide roll and go Alabama as well.
All right. Houston, Clemson. I'm going Houston.
Houston has no problem.
Oh, gosh.
And then the one we've all been waiting for, Kentucky versus Tennessee. How do y'all go here?
I'm going with my Wildcats. I'm going Kentucky.
Kentucky's beat Tennessee twice this year. It's extremely hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. And again, it's always going to depend on how healthy we are.
I'm probably going to say Kentucky.
I'm going to say Kentucky. I just can't pick Tennessee, but I could easily see Tennessee winning that game. This may be the year Rick Barnes finally gets them to a Final Four, but I just can't, in my heart of hearts, pick Tennessee over Kentucky. So we're going to go Kentucky and over Tennessee. So Kentucky and Houston.
I'm going Houston.
I think Houston gets the Wildcats in the Elite
Now, I
Eight.
ain't cheering for them, but I think they'll win.
So Final Four matchups, we have
Houston, Alabama, and Florida and Auburn.
So Florida-Auburn, who wins that game?
Auburn. I think they go past it.
I would rather Auburn win that game, but I just think Florida's playing well, so I'm going to go Florida. But so in our group, Auburn moves on, which I say that, and I think in my individual group I picked Auburn, but
you picked them to win the national.
So I think Auburn. We'll say Auburn moves on. Alabama, Houston, how you got it?
I think Alabama's offense will overpower Houston's defense.
I think so too. So I'm going to say Alabama as well. So you have an Auburn-Alabama national championship, Iron Bowl for the national championship. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm going Auburn.
Auburn.
Alabama is a tough matchup for Auburn, but I don't know. I think this may be the year Bruce Pearl finally gets him a national championship. So I'm going to say Auburn as well. So with our group picks, we'll see how our bracket fares as we.
Are we picking the score?
We don't have to.
Okay.
You might as well go and put the upper 80s, low 90s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of going to be right there. But as far as our individual picks, what was your individual Final Four picks?
Can't remember, but I think it was Houston, Alabama, Auburn, and Florida.
Houston, Alabama, Auburn, and Florida. Yours, put your bracket here.
Florida.
Is underneath somewhere. I've got his bracket.
No, this is his.
I wasn't here.
Auburn and Florida and Alabama and Houston.
So yours was exactly what we just picked. So, and mine was Auburn and Florida and Alabama and Houston as well. So, national champion?
Auburn.
I think this is the year of the Tigers.
But who played Auburn?
As
I
long
got Alabama.
as do what?
Who played Auburn in the championship? I got Alabama.
Alabama's who I got
Yeah.
playing. Alabama, and I think that Sue Brax has got as well. So this is the year we may see Bruce Pearl finally get him a championship. So we'll follow along. You can follow along with us. We'll see how, as a group, other brackets did. We'll see how our individual brackets done. I hope y'all enjoy these next 4 days coming up. Again, the greatest times of the year as far as being able to watch basketball games. Maybe a lot of sick days at work and different things. We're looking forward to being able to go to Rupp, even though it is to watch Tennessee. We're looking forward to be able to go up there and watch a couple tournament games tonight. Hopefully getting back and just watching a lot of ball games tomorrow as well. One thing I want to leave you with before we get done, we talked about share of faith, and one thing when teams I coach with them and different things like that, we always want to give her all to the Lord. I always use the Bible verse, 1 Corinthians 10:31. It says, "Whether therefore you eat or drink or whatsoever you do all to the glory of God." So in everything you do, no matter what it is, work, school, sports, whatever you're doing, we should always be doing it to honor and glorify Him in everything that we do. So again, please comment. We may try to read comments off if you do comment on it.
Don't sound like Nate the Guy.
and we'll try to just have some fun with this. But we encourage you all to interact with us and different things. Let us know how you like it. We don't claim to be professionals, so this is kind of going through here. We may mess the facts up sometimes. We may make our own facts up occasionally, but I hope you all enjoy the ride. We'll try to get it locked down as far as scheduling and different things, like what days of the week we'll do stuff. But again, please feel free to watch. I hope you like it, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. So hope everybody has a great day. Good luck. See you.
See ya.